And yet, let's also look at his response to a daughter. What do you make of that?
He is my father. Like I said earlier, my father died at the age of 47, and in 1979 I was in secondary school, Form 4. And he's one of those who have made me who I am. He took care of me.
Is Anita is also bleaching?
She's not bleaching. Do you know my children? I don't know if you know Belinda and Franklin. I'm not bleaching. Maybe he has admired me so much.
Oh, so your father had it wrong, saying you are bleaching.
My father?
Yeah.
No, you can say anything that you are. He's my father.
You may see what they one line, and yes, meaning some way. Mamma and Tambo, my one, no pass out of you. See when you now there, Srikakra, a honey, a baby, and Kabumana, a hand Kabum, the honey shot, and when you might only be a Kabum day. And yes, and get one. Problem where your man cool. When you want to videos, no. Me bomb man number 1, I feel in the crab band one all 3 kakran number 3 also and they are shame. Party for the new Sani me shamubo. The best shamubo me sa shamubo happy. 1st February, yet 1st February, yet the discipline
into Kwanu was through and Raya signing peace pact. Onyanko pon and Dimiko PA number 2 I met number 1 and number 3 meaning the movie TV na Mama Tam number 1 na. I can't even see what them one run. And yes, I'm get one. Meaning the Murea. Mamma Tam number 1 no pass out of you. When him now, dear, Srikakra. A honey about and Kabumana. A hand kabum the honey shot, and when you might only buy a kabum. And yes, I'm get one. Problem where your man cool. When you want videos, no. Me bomb man number 1, I feel in the crab band one all 3 kakran number 3 also and they are shame. Party for any Sani man. Me shamubo. Maybe share my bono me sasha mo bo happy. 1st February. Yet 1st February. Yet the discipline we will restore discipline in our party. Quite be so. Now me call Ghana no so me who say party for no. As of your musica.
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are 2 types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, Oh, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it.
Hello, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us on the show. This is Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. Today is the 27th of January, 2026, and this is the day the Lord has made. Indeed, we're glad in it. I want to say a big thanks to Almighty God for making it possible for us to return here to join the nation's conversation on the big issues that matter to you, on the big issues that are making rounds in our dear country, Ghana. And I want to say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. My name, once again, is Aldo Moro, and we're going to start with the front pages of the papers that we have for today. So I'll start with a daily graphic. Daily graphic this morning says that Metro Mass spare parts stuck at port for 2 years. Metro Mass spare parts stuck at ports for 2 years. Road crashes killed 2,949 last year, highest in 35 years. 63,599 died since 1991. Road Safety Authority. 211,849 delegates to elect MPP flag bearer. Party promises free fair polls. Fair Sky Group commissions Phase 1 Yendi Solar Plant March. The Ghanaian Times, Temamoto Way expansion 35% complete. Contractor implements measures to minimize inconvenience. GAF rejects 60% HIV claim in recruitment medical screening. Ghana exports 120 health workers to Antigua. We will scrutinize government business to entrench constitutional democracy, according to the minority. And as WHO expresses regret over U.S. withdrawal from a global health body. Daily Guide, NPP, NDC, EC sued over electoral systems. Fixed failures in oil palm sector, Kwabena Amening. NDC flag bearer contest, Nana Jane picks Haruna Alpeño. Daddy Lumba estate case, Kumasi High Court strikes out application. Abutrika discharged, re-arrested. The Insight. Fair Sky Group to provide free kidney transplant after years of dialysis support. President Mahama Hill's company's milestone. BOG governor calls on the media to support economic research with accurate, responsible reporting. There's Pastor John Apak, father of Deputy Education Minister, to be buried on January 31. Late Ga Manye Na Dede Omaduro II to be formally laid to rest, according to family. Agadangbe Group's petition Google over exclusion of Ga Dangbe from AI language development. Pring Park president salutes media partnership with BOG. The Ghana Law Society vows to respect outcome of lawsuit challenging its accreditation by the General Legal Counsel. The Daily Post. Drive economic growth through PPPs, Chief of Staff to AGI. I don't know when MPP would realize that NADA is a liability, Dr. Arthur Kennedy. And Mahama Yarega announces plans to audit implementation of 1D1F policy. 280 cases of corruption are under investigations. Felix Ofosu Kwachi. Let's now look at what's on today's Business and Financial Times. There's MPC weighs policy path as FX stability expectations steady. Rate cut of 100 to 150 BPS in Bayport delivers a remarkable performance in 2025, recording profit before tax exceeding 100 million cedis. Security and reliability are cornerstones of digital payment future. That's according to Stanbic Bank's Julian Isahaku. That's Jalilu Isahaku, that's what I should be saying. And there's a BOG SEC shift focus from virtual asset rules to public readiness. That's for the Business and Financial Times. All right, so stay with us. This is Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. Let's now look at what's online. Starts with the City Newsroom that says 1 dead, several injured in violent youth clash at Winneba. Another fire hit Kumasi as blaze engulfs Anwonya Market. Finance Ministry warns against sabotage of AI-driven customs systems. That's with the City Newsroom. Now, my jaw online, I'm ready for either outcome. Kwabena J. Japan strikes of polls ahead of MPP contest. There's Joy FM personalities gear up for big workout 2026 at University of Ghana Stadium. I am an eternal optimist, says Kwabena J. Japan ahead of MPP primaries. Now, what's on Ghana Web? Now, Ghana Web is reporting this morning that Afenyo Markin blast speaker Bagwing. Patrice Amegashi joins Ghana Web as commercial manager. There's engineer Kwamina J. Japan, what a true and great patriot. Every city lost to corruption is a loss to national development, Deputy Finance Minister. And then MetroTVOnline.com, Health Minister engages health leaders on free primary health care policy. Police arrest suspect overshooting during 2024 elections. Abu Chika rearrested and taken to NACOC headquarters. And the court strikes out that the Lumbes estate application after objects. All right, so that's it for the newspaper and the online review. Please stay with us. This is Good Morning Ghana. Don't go anywhere.
Sometimes the unexpected happens and the hero falls down in his own story. But he needs not stay down for long. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance is your trusted health partner. Whether an individual building a business, with Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern. For the best health insurance solutions for corporate institutions, groups and associations, families and individuals, choose Cosmopolitan Health Insurance from our over 700 accredited health service providers nationwide. Call us on 0302 540 668 or 0501 678 547 for all your health insurance solutions. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern.
I'm a brand manager. Of course, I accept only quality and affordable printed souvenirs for my promotional campaigns.
I'm the head of academic affairs of a very important institution in Ghana. Of course, we only deal with quality, reliable printing companies for our institution's printing materials. I'm talking about appointed time printing.
Appointed Time Printings. We take pride in our extensive print scope that transform your ideas into captivating visual masterpieces. We delve into the core objectives and vision of each print project. Precision printing is at the heart of our printing process as we meet your tight deadlines. Our rigorous inspection, color verification, and overall printing excellence are assured. 20 years of printing excellence. It's always a pleasure working with you to create a vibrant, dazzling printing experience that gives you a masterpiece. Appointed Time Printing, your world of quality and affordable printing.
Brush, 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 brush your teeth. Brush, 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 2 times a day. Brush with Kel-Kit.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kel-Kit toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky chicky whiter, chicky chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kel-Kit, happy smile.
The festive season is here again, and your most preferred estate partner is giving you 25% discount on land sale. Yes, for our Bronya Asase promo, Estate Masters is offering this massive discount for outright purchases. This includes free indenture, free site plan, and a free site visit. So what are you waiting for? Rush now and secure a plot of land while it is still hot. Reach out to us using the numbers below or visit our website at www.estatemastersgh.com. Estate Masters, your most preferred estate partner.
Good morning, Mr. Ding.
Good morning, Ejako. And why do you keep staring at my rubbish container?
I'm surprised you're still using a bin without a cover. You know it can cause a mess.
My bin is just fine. Look, there is no leakage, still solid and robust. If you will excuse me, I have work to do.
Yo.
Dustbins are a great way of keeping trash off the streets and homes. However, the use of bins without fitting covers pose a challenge with stench from rotten items, flies and scavengers. Keep the environment clean and healthy. Get dustbins with fitting covers.
In every school, there is history. In every homecoming, there is pride. But in 2025, pride became competition. From convoys that shook the streets to colors worn with honor, from powerful reunions to legacy projects that will stand forever. Metro TV asked one bold question: which school truly owned the legacy in 2025? Welcome to School's Homecoming 2025. Who is who? Send your school name, convoy videos, speech and prize giving highlights, and your 2025 legacy projects to 0550 090 702. School's Homecoming, my school, my pride. This event is sponsored by Zoom Lion and Appointed Time Printing. School's Homecoming 2025 is a Metro TV event supported by Original TV, Original 91.9 FM, and Metro Digital.
You're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My name is Audu Moro, and so it's a pleasure to come your way. Now, this show, remember, is also live on 94.1 FM. So tell a friend to tell a friend that you now have an alternative. Okay? If you can't watch us on TV, at least you can listen to us on radio. 94.1 FM. And this is based on your incessant requests that we give you an alternative, because sometimes it's not easy to watch us online when you're driving, for instance. So we've given you a radio station for you to monitor the conversation, and I hope that, so please do that and give us the feedback. So far, so good. From persons who have been monitoring us on radio, they tell us that it's crystal clear. It's they're loving it. So let us know what you also think when you listen, how the experience is like. So my guests are seated, and the conversation will start in earnest. So, see, one of them is a deputy presidential spokesperson and a journalist as well. Yes, a journalist, Shamima Muslim. She's with us this morning. Sis, good morning. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
How are you?
I'm very well.
And,
I think this is the first time of seeing
2026.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. Last time it was actually towards the end of the year.
Yeah, it was
that
one of
I was
those.
on the show.
That's true.
So
That's true.
Happy New Year to
Happy
you.
Happy New Year.
Everything is going on well. So far, so good.
So far,
as you
so good.
said, yes. And Happy New Year to our viewers as well.
Yeah.
A very good morning to all of you. And we continue to thank you for opening up your homes, your offices, your vehicles even every morning and joining us as we all shape public discourse together. Thank you.
Okay. Let me also say that there's a man here who, he wasn't a deputy presidential spokesperson, he was a deputy information minister under the erstwhile Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo administration, and he's here with us. Also a former MP for the Botiano English Amamfrom. He's called Mr. Sylvester Tete. I don't know whether he still wants to carry the honorable title or he's dropped it. This is not an MP. I'll find out from him. But Sylvester Tete, as we affectionately call him, Sly, not in the negative sense, I beg you. The Sly is correct, it's positive. Urugwa, bring away. Tell what, you won't hear me?
Congratulations.
Okay, well, hear me, bugula.
Yeah, well, hear me, bugula.
I know. You know, Sly has different connotations. Somebody says you're Sly.
Even Moro has different connotations.
No, there's only one.
No, you can't be sure. You can't be sure. Let people begin to do the interpretation. You appreciate the different connotations it comes with.
I just thought it was important for people not to carry the wrong impression. This Sly is a proper Sly.
It will be very difficult to do that.
Okay.
For the times and season depends on what people. You know the famous Sly Mongoose.
Right.
You know Sly Mongoose.
Right.
I'll tell you a story after.
Okay.
Yes.
we'll preserve that for another day. Anyway, so let me just say this. There's something that I need to bring to the attention of our cherished viewers before we kickstart with our conversation for today. So I need to... All right, so leadership matters now more than ever. So on Thursday, January 29th, so today is 26th, so that's just... Oh, today is 27th, isn't it? Today is 27th, so that's just Thursday, yeah. 29, 2026, leaders from across Ghana and beyond will be gathering at the Labadi Beach Hotel for the Live to Lead Elevated Leadership International Conference. It's hosted by the Grace Center for Growth and Excellence. It's a one-day international conference that's bringing together world-class leadership voices, including John C. Maxwell, globally recognized as the most influential leadership expert, alongside Craig Groeschel and also Valerie Berting and Tiffany Bova, and the keynote speaker is Freda Johan Duplan. So it's a Live to Lead. Live to Lead is a high-impact experience focused on leadership growth, influence, innovation, personal development designed for executives and entrepreneurs, managers, and emerging leaders. If you want to lead better, communicate better, escalate your business, and also create a lasting impact, this conference is meant for you. So please take advantage of it. If you want to participate or you want to be a part of this, please register now at Live, as in L-I-V-E, as in living. So Live to Lead, elevateleadership.com. So Live to Lead, elevateleadership.com. That's it. So Live to Lead, because better leaders make a better world. It's www.liveteleadership.com. So please go there and register and be a part of this groundbreaking or momentous occasion. Also, remember that our school reunion, our school homecoming event is still an invitation to participate is still on. So if your school owned the streets during homecoming, unveiled a legacy project, and showed true alumni power, then this is your moment. Metro TV is putting it all to the test with Schools Homecoming 2025. Who is who? Simply send. How do you participate? Simply send the name of your school, videos of your 2025 speech and prize giving day, your homecoming convoy, and your 2025 legacy project to this WhatsApp number. So please put it down. So take your pen and paper and put this number down. 0 055 00, so 055 90702. 055 90702. So join this exciting conversation and the euphoria and the bragging on the school's homecoming on our Metro TV and Metro Digital. Metro Digital. The sponsors are Zoom Lion Ghana Limited, Appointed Time Printing, and this is a Metro TV event. It's supported by Original TV, Original 91.9 FM, and also Metro Digital. So that's it. All right. So we'll kickstart with our conversation now that I guess they're seated. Now, Shamima.
Yep.
I think that is only proper and right that you lift or raise the curtain for us. This is the first time you're joining us in 2026 as a deputy presidential spokesperson. What should we, first of all, what are your opening remarks? We also saw a video which actually got Ghanaians talking and praising the presidency for that. We saw the president going around and exchanging pleasantries with the workers, some of whom I've never met him one-on-one. And we saw the excitement on their faces and, and some of them, it was like, well, that's me, and basically shocked and pleasantly surprised. What was the idea? And whilst you're giving your opening remarks about 2026, what was the thinking?
So good morning to you once again, and special greetings to President John Dramani Mahama, and welcoming him back home after a very successful Davos, conference where once again he drove the Accra Reset, initiative where he rallied his colleagues to rethink sovereignty, especially around what he describes as the triple dependencies of many African nations that continue to hold us back. And the fact that we have a continent that largely outsources the most essential, parts of its development, path. Security is dependent on outsiders. Our health education budgets are funded, from foreign donors. We are unable to capture the real value of our natural resources, which has truly powered European civilization and industrialization, amongst others. So President Mahama, being the leader that he is, and Ghana being in that unique, position in amongst, the countries of Africa and within the sub-region, can't sit by and just watch things proceed, especially when he himself has led or is leading a resetting Ghana agenda.
Right.
I think now more than ever, we all agree that Africa also requires a reset because the world itself is going through a reset. If you look at what's been happening, the chaotic, situation that's been happening amongst European nations and their long-term, allies, the breakdown of multilateralism because, certain countries are opting out of the rule-based trade system. President Mahama has variously spoken about the effects of such tumbling of the world order as we know it. He describes what is happening today as an evolving situation with no particular name to it. But what he knows we won't do as a continent is to sit back and wait for the evolution of what the next order would be. Just like we were at the receiving end of the Berlin conference after the European nations could no longer, I beg your pardon, they could no longer manage the competition for the scramble of Africa, and they sat at Berlin and balkanized the continent, just as we sat back and allowed, after World War II, the Bretton Woods institutions to hijack many African and then described third world countries to become the at the negative end of the harsh, structural adjustment policies of that period, which also led to the stabilization of these Western and European nations. This time around, a new chapter is being opened and rewritten, and Africa must, assume its pride of place and its proud leadership in terms of its contribution to the shaping of whatever would emerge from the chaos that we are seeing. What the president has also been preaching is for humility amongst all world leaders, because now the problems that used to differentiate third world countries from developed countries have bled, and all of us are experiencing similar, if not worse, situations in some, cases of the Western nations. So he is leading this Accra initiative, and it comes at an opportune time. Next year, Ghana turns 70 years. Next year, God willing, the ECOWAS leaders have nominated President Mahama as its sole candidate for the position of African Union. And this has happened because not only within Ghana are we seeing what President Mahama is doing by way of his differentiated leadership and his ability to form a government that is turning around the fortunes of this country, his colleague leaders are saying same. Because you can't lead a continent if you are not showing, once again, what is possible. And for President Mahama, what we've been able to attain within this year is indicative that when disciplined action meets the right policies, democracy maintains, sustainability and remains the most viable option of governance. And I think that is why leadership is being thrusted upon him once again. I mean, I always say that President Mahama has been forced in very strange fairnesses in his political career. He's been through a lot of, unimaginable difficulties and experiences. And it's exactly that stands him in the right stead at this moment to lead this country. He's leading with humanity, with empathy, with humility, with transparency, and with discipline. And that's why you saw some of the things in his New Year message. He continues to say that we must work together as a nation, citizens, leaders, opposition alike. We must seize this new chapter, in our history, where the possibility of turning around this country for the better is really within our reach. If we are able to remain disciplined, remain consistent, and do what we are supposed to do by way of collective sacrifice and collective benefits from the sacrifice. Once we are able to raise the general value of the, the country. So we are all witnesses to where we came from last, in 2024 and where we are today. We have managed to tame inflation. We are hopeful that the single-digit inflation would maintain throughout the rest of the year. Not only that, we would also deal with the structural challenges to ensure more sustainable gains in terms of restructuring the economy by investing in its most productive, areas where agriculture today is leading, where manufacturing and light industry is gaining grounds, and, where our development outcomes are consistent with our direction. I mean, he launched last year Ghana Infrastructure Plan, a 30-year plan to ensure we bridge our infrastructure deficits. Today, we recognize the challenges of non-investment in our transportation sector, public transport sector, intercity, within, city, as well as interregional, transportation routes, bad roads, poor and inadequate, public passes. These are all challenges that are recognized by President Mahama. He's not one to pretend about the challenges. He's one to diagnose the problem and quickly get to work. And so we're expecting the first batch of 150, buses to support the transport sector towards the end of this March, and he continues to rally his staff, and that's why you saw what you see. It's just who he is, and we thank God for his life, and we're looking forward to 2026 with renewed vigor, with hope. And mind you, President Mahama has committed this nation in the hands of God. He himself has submitted his authority to God. So no amount of distractions or, threats from opposition quarters that they are going to make his rule ungovernable, no such amounts of threats can, shake him at all. He is a strong man from the experiences that I have explained to you. He's not going to use the power that he wills today, the goodwill that he wills today, to arbitrarily, capriciously, dissipate accountability institutions. Right. He's going to use his power to empower those institutions, and by the grace of God, he would achieve that. I mean, he committed this country into the hands of God last year. He announced over the weekend, when he attended the anniversary celebration of an indigenous company that is doing very well, that everything we have achieved is not by his might, not by his strength, not by even his wisdom, but has been by the might and the will of God. And so this year we're also going to do the 2nd year anniversary of committing National Day of Prayer would happen. We will continue to commit this country into the hands of Almighty God. We believe that he remains our anchor as a party in government, and as a president who truly does same. So this is the new chapter of governance we have opened, and I'm happy that the people of Ghana are happy. We're not out of the woods yet. We haven't promised perfection. We have not promised, no mistakes. We have promised that immediately there are problems, we will get to work and solve them. Immediately that there are mistakes, we will turn around and pivot and correct course and do right by this country to the glory of God.
It's been 1 year already, hasn't it? I mean,
Indeed.
This is how fast time flies. But let me just ask you this briefly before we get on to the more substantive issues. Now, you talked about the president's style of leadership. It's come up in a recent conversation with his very good friend, actually, Captain Prince Kofi Amwami, retired. He was having a conversation about governance, institutional, institutional governance, and so on and so forth, and leadership. And in that interview, he was asked about what he thought about John Mahama's style of leadership. Now, there was something he said which I found quite interesting, and once that you're here as a spokesperson, help us appreciate better what kind of leadership style John Dramani Mahama exudes. Now, this is what he said, and this was an interview he granted just yesterday, and it was about leadership, governance, and institutional strength. Yes, that's what I've been wanting to say. Now, he says that, I'm going to quote him. The only thing I'm not sure about John Dramani Mahama as president is that he loves to see people happy.
Yeah.
He wants to please people, and that such an approach can undermine governance if not balanced with firm accountability. With responsibilities, you make them responsible and accountable. And it says, drawing lessons from countries like Singapore, Rwanda, Japan, and China, he said, successful nations combine care for citizens with strict enforcement of the rules. Sanction always helps, he said, arguing that discipline is not cruelty, but a necessary tool for making systems work. Is it reflecting John Dramani Mahama, or you think that perhaps there's something about John Dramani Mahama that we don't know? I mean, you work closely with him. What do you make of what Prince has said?
Even those who have worked more closely and longer with him always recognize this attribute of him always wanting to do right by people, even those who have offended him deeply. And there are many such confessions in our body politic. Some of his vicious critics and most critical, voices against his person, against his previous leadership, have come around to confess that he is a real human being. And I keep saying that President Mahama's persona over the years, and now more than ever, have largely been shaped by his own experiences. If you read his book, his first coup d'etat, the wisdom he learned from those years around the fact that power is merely borrowed, because power was taken away during the coup. His father had to, leave this country, and they also had to, travel along, and that's the surgeon in Nigeria during that, period of the coup. So he knows at the heart, from his own experience and the things he has been through, the humiliation he suffered upon, his defeat over 80 years ago, and the elevation he now received when he stood in Parliament and he said most profoundly that prosperity will be the better judge.
Posterity.
Posterity, yes, would be the better judge of his administration or his intention for this country. It came so very quick from what we saw, during the past 8 years. President Mahama is friendly, he smiles, but we have been told he can also be brutal. And there are those who have experienced that side of his brutality. He doesn't have to come and stand on top of Mount Everest or Afajato and scream himself hoarse and call people names and denigrate people in public. But when your cup is full and it's full in his eyes, he will deal with you accordingly. So humility would continue to be his watchword. If you read his foreword to our 2024 manifesto, he promised to lead by example and to exact strict accountability first from the people that he worked with, as he would also exact accountability from, the opposition members who have also led this country and, as a matter of constitutional demands, are required to account for their tenure. So anyone who wants to take President Mahama's leniency as a weakness may have himself laughing at the wrong side of his mouth. So let's trust that he will act as we have seen. There are members of the NDC government who are under investigation and going through all kinds of investigation. Sedina Tamakulo, through President Mahama's Attorney General, is being brought back. Because to restore trust, we must be consistent. And we must act without, favoritism, without fear. That's how we restore institutions and restore trust in our institutions of governance. So we are lucky as a country to have the person of President John Dramani Mahama. And if you even go back a bit to the history of the NDC, we have always offered this nation, especially after the Fourth Republic, such kind of leadership. From Jerry John Rawlings to Evans Atta Mills, who was named Father for All, a title which even cost him in his own party because he needed to build a nation, not factions. He needed to heal this nation, not further divide us along, partisan lines. And when the NPP always comes back to power, they retrogress this nation and bring back this very vicious divisiveness in our party and in our government. And President Mahama came back first time, tried to build together. This time he's doing the same, sometimes to the anger of our own grassroots who believe that he should be paying back the NPP what they did. But we don't build a country that way, especially if you're a blessed, government and you're a blessed political party. It is these kinds of human actions, especially for those who have not offended the law, because every Ghanaian deserves to work and live in security and safety, earn their incomes, do their businesses without vindictiveness, without the experiences of persons like Prince Amoabeng, as he usually, tells us. Every Ghanaian deserves that.
Okay.
If some political parties, when they get the opportunity, decide to live by the ethos and the core values of their political party, as I've just read. Property owning democracy. I've just seen this briefly. And it was interesting how the values that birth political, parties, survives through time. Sometimes their appearances will change, but their core values, remain the same. And when we come to the press conference I will address it more. But listen to the founder of NPP. That's what they say. The one founder of the NPP, J.B. Dankwa, that the party's policy is to liberate the energy.
JB would be a founding member.
Dr. J.B. Dankwa.
A founding member, not the founder.
Well, they
that's how they, as the founder?
His quotes. Well, of course, they are founders of the party.
Yes,
but,
a founder.
But you know that they usually place more, premium on J.B. Dankwa.
Okay.
And so in their 2024 manifesto, it is his quote that is here, because they credit him with the intellectual, framing of the tradition and in his writings and everything. So this is not with any malice. But it reads that the party's policy is to liberate the energies of the people for the growth of a property-owning democracy in this land, with a right to life, freedom, justice as the principles to which government and laws of the land should be dedicated in order specifically to enrich life, property, liberty of each and every citizen. This ought not to be a bad ideal, that we all live in a country, that we are all able to, aspire to own property as we all do. But when the party's philosophy intrinsically and inherently focuses on property owning at the disadvantage, as we have seen with their governance over the years, to the social, milieu, it breeds the kinds of corruption we eventually would see in our politics, and why institutions deteriorate, especially severely under their leadership. And I will address those things more deeply when we come to the
let me bring in
Mr.
Let me bring in Sylvester in, and I'm sure he has some opinions to express on what you said before we get into our first major issue for the day. Sylvester, any thoughts you want to share on what Shamima said so far?
Well, thank you very much, and good morning to our viewers. Good morning to my sister Shamima.
Good morning.
And to your good self. I told your boss that this your job is going to be very, very difficult. And you are making it more difficult.
Which
for
boss
yourselves.
is that?
Your boss.
You mean Felix?
Felix, the last time. And you are making it very, very difficult for yourselves.
Why?
And it's going to be a very interesting journey. The way, for 30 minutes, it's been a pure PR for the president. But let me hasten to say, that the reality checks, it's out there, and it's going to be very interesting, and how and where she even ended and all that. I think that for whatever we do, and I'll repeat that anytime the NDC try to churn out statistics to all of us, one way or the other, President Mahama, like any other Ghanaian, is not immune from criticism, or any leader of this country. One of the political leaders that has been vilified so much in the run-up to his ascendancy to the throne of president of this country is President Akufo-Addo. A lot has been said about him. And today, when President Akufo-Addo became president in 2017, we saw the euphoria around this country. And we saw the global acceptance of Akufo-Addo's leadership in the area of rule of law and all that. President Mahama is not a saint, and his leadership will always come under scrutiny, just as we did in his previous tenure as a president of the Republic, and in the outcome of his leadership at that time. Many people, at least about 8 of them, were in prison for corruption and corruption-related activities, on record. And from 1992, you can count as many as over 40 or so of NDC activists having been in prison of their leadership. Akufo MPP had been in power, and President Akufo, this talk about they are corrupt, they are this and that. You remember the famous Ubiquitous quote that they've stolen all the gold reserves at the Bank of Ghana, and they had reserves or bank accounts, when you put together, more than the entire GDP of our country. When he went to vetting, what did he say? He said it was a mere political talk because he was a propaganda secretary of the NDC. We've seen this too many times about the NDC. But let me say this, that the act of the NDC and President Mahama, 1 year into his administration, they came into office on the back of lofty promises to the good people of this country. The area of 133, one job, 3 people. The area of 24-hour economy. The area of automatic recruitment of nurses and teachers. Yesterday, Felix Ofosu, the health minister, he was there. 1 year, 1 month into his administration. We should be interrogating these policies. As we speak, there is no policy to the effect how 24-hour economy will be executed in this country. There's no single policy. There isn't any single policy as to automatic recruitment of teachers and trained nurses. As we speak yesterday, the health minister is telling us they need 6 billion Ghana cedi to be able to recruit all the nurses that have been trained so far. At the time they were making the promise, didn't they know the number of nursing trainees that will be trained and has to be automatically employed by government? He made it clear that there are a lot of vacancies in our health sector in this country, but they don't have the money. 1 year into the administration, you believe they had told Ghanaians that we won't be able to employ you. President Mahama's own record, by 2016 when they were leaving office, there were 4 badges left, nurses in this country. It took Akufo-Addo to give clearance to employ all of them. At least we left 2 streams for them. And now they are telling us reality check. But they made a promise. Isn't the same NDC who said teacher licensure exams will be a thing of the past? When they come into office, what has happened today? Reality check. The credibility of President Mahama is being scrutinized today. So this talk about being a nice person here and there, people are coming to him to confess and all that. What are they confessing? If President Mahama is in Jubilee House, every apologist of his is in the Jubilee House. So if he goes about, you think they will not smile? Everybody will smile. So what has that got to do with Ghanaians? 99% of the people in the Jubilee House, they were people who followed to his campaign. So if he walks into the office, what do you expect from them? This PR will not help. I'm asking you, 133. What has become of 133? 24-hour economy. What is the policy?
You want me to answer?
No, please. You had 30 good minutes.
No, I thought you were
No, I'm not.
She didn't talk for 30 minutes. She spoke for 22 minutes.
That's misinformation.
22
Please.
minutes. Yes.
I mean, these are facts that I will be happy to see that 13 months into your administration, this is a policy, how we are going to get jobs created. She talks about manufacturing. We want to see the data. What has been added on? Nothing. No single policy. Today, she talks about the fleet, Metromas. And I have questions. Metromas is procuring over 500 buses from Egypt. As we speak, my checks indicate that the contract are not going to Parliament. How they are procuring the only God knows. Transparency. The Ministry of Transport have checked from the committee in Parliament and from the Ministry of Finance. There is no single document in Parliament. And she's confirming 150 of them are coming. The circumstances under which they are doing the procurement, nobody knows. We'll be asking the legitimate questions as we go along. So for me, the checks and balances that we need to put in place, it's a matter of policy. What I've put in place, what I inherited, inflation. We know why we had that hyperinflation, 54%. By the time MPP was leaving the office, it came to about 21%. The trajectory was there. The IMF, the World Bank, was projecting it. But I told you something here the last time I was here, when her boss was here. I said, look, government, if you put in policy and you believe in your policy, you must first respond to it. So you put in a policy, you are touting its successes, yet you are not responding to it. We talked about the energy sector increase. Electricity bills haven't been increased that much.
Before you get there, the touting of the policies and not responding to it, how do you mean? I think
No, what I'm saying is that the government says that inflation has come down.
Okay.
What it means is that the average rate at which prices goes up is now in the 9.something%.
Yes.
That is fine.
Right.
So you, the government, this is your success. You must first respond to it. I made mention of government-owned fees and charges, 30%. What is the correlation?
Okay.
What is the correlation? Now you've increased electricity bills. Their answer is that it's an IMF conditionality. But I said the last time, the IMF said there must be tariff adjustment within the framework of inflation, debt to GDP, interest rate, and all that. Those were the basis for which you can do the adjustment. So adjustment could be down or could be up. But to the NDC, all the parameters are down. Our debt to GDP, I've told you, about 43% of our national debt is due to forex interest, is due to forex fluctuations. So if the forex had come down, what it means automatically, not that you are paying your debt, but your debt, as calculated in dollar terms, will come down based on your national currency. Fantastic. So in the face of all these parameters sold now, as we are saying, why is it that they are still doing upward adjustment?
How do you clear the legacy debts if you don't adjust upwards?
So they should tell us they are bringing a levy for legacy debt. They are not telling us they are bringing a levy for legacy debt. What is the legacy debt in the energy sector as it is? The ECG.
Yes.
I'm saying in November they celebrated paying a ECG debt in last year, and they were celebrating it. But in November we pay 1.4 billion.
Fact.
So
yes.
What is the fast about this?
Yeah, I'm just asking.
Nothing. So I'm saying that it is not a levy.
Yes.
For payment of a legacy debt. It is not a levy for payment of a legacy debt.
I'm saying that.
It is the circumstances around which you do adjustment.
Yes.
And the circumstances post a positive outlook based on what we are saying. Because your debt to GDP has drastically gone down. So the pressure from the IMF to be able to pay your debt by the books had gone down. Your inflationary rate had gone down. Your debt to GDP has come down. So why the upward adjustment? Your own fees and charges, as I've indicated, you have hiked it. Now you are saying that your inflationary rate is about 9%. So if average cost of prices change is about that low, why do you, government itself, hike your own fees and charges? So again, when you see what the NDC's own campaign promises, that is how you assess John Mahama, whether he means well or otherwise. In the last year budget, 2026 budget, they projected to do recruitment about 800,000. Out of the 800,000, almost 500,000 of that projection is in the construction sector. So government itself, as it were, and these are temporary jobs. So to the youth of this country, there is no permanency about the job promises John Mahama made to this country. So that is how I assess John Mahama. Today, lithium agreement, they criticize so well in this country. When they got the opportunity to revise the lithium agreement, they said they are revising it from 10% royalty levy to 5%. And I asked myself, why? They are saying that the price on the world market has come down. For that reason, they need to bring the royalty down from 10% to 5%. I can't believe it. Royalty percentage is charged on gross revenue. So if your gross revenue in the world market comes down, we don't expect you, it is the 10% that you calculate. But now that you brought it down, in whose interest is that agreement going to serve, as a matter of fact? So if this is what John Mahama is serving Ghanaians, the teeming youth of this country, if you go back to the street today, I shared a video with your producer, and I hope that you'll be part of the videos that they are circulating every morning on this net.
What's the video about?
It's about taxi drivers.
Okay.
Where they are working, they are showing the prices of goods, banku, fufu, petty things, how it impacts their lives. The price change. I've sent it to him. I'm not the one saying it. So you go back. That a country had negotiated a trade agreement to the cocoa farmers. Do you know the arrears to LBCs is over 10 billion cedis? Cocoa farmers. You know why? The so-called dollar celebration of the NDC, I told you, our cedi had been overpriced. And we are celebrating. Everything you talk about, they tell you dollar has come down. But the two sides of the economy, export and import. As a country, our major problem is that we've been import dependent over time. And that is why our currency is always vulnerable. We've been import dependent. You spent $10 billion to hold up the cities. Now the city is about 11. It was 14.1. So your savings have been 3.1 cities. You are celebrating it. But you put $10 billion to do that over the last 1 year. If you had put $10 billion into already existing one district, one factory, it would have helped your 24-hour economy so that production will increase.
But that $10 billion that $10 billion is not money that was given and not getting back. This is money the central bank gives and takes back.
Money gives to central bank to do what?
The central bank.
So what is the impact? And I'm saying that you could have given.
It makes forex available for the banks and for businesses who want them. That's all it does. So it brings that pressure on forex.
If you do that, what it does?
So it's not like the central bank is giving money and not getting anything back.
So I'm explaining. If you have $10 billion for 3.1 cities, and you have $10 billion into industry, they will pay back as well.
It will take time.
It doesn't matter.
No, it will take time.
It will take time. So you think what will happen? That's what I'm telling Cocoa Board. You know, Cocoa Board is not able to meet its obligations because of the forex situation. Yes. So the other side of the effects of the forex is industry.
The managing economy has always been like that.
That is why I'm saying that. Don't be overly joyous over what is happening today. Because in the long term, assuming you don't have the reserves, MPP had the reserves, we could have done this.
But
please, I'm saying that.
What's the net effect?
The net effect is that
there are pros and cons. But what's the net effect?
What I'm saying that the net effect is that you must encourage industrialization, export, and the market forces will automatically respond to it. In their own manifesto, they talked about export-driven economy. Now, Cocoa Board, Natural, is one of the biggest exporters of our commodity over time. They are suffering. Your policy. So what about the small businesses? How are they going to respond to it? So that is what I'm saying. But we all know in our basic economics that we need to push more into manufacturing and export. That one, it becomes sustainable. But a country that is overly dependent on import, you don't have a future. It's basic economics. So that is what is happening to us. That is why Cocoa Board. You remember the press conference in the cocoa growing areas in the run-up to the 2024 elections. You know what happened there? Today, Atu-Forsen, then the minority leader, the agric minister today, all of them, including Sami Gyamfi. What is happening today? They went there. They promised them. They will increase the cocoa prices. What has happened over time? The farmers are there. They are crying. They are even, whatever they've labored for, they are not even paid. It's in arrears. The LBCs, the license buying companies, speak to them. This is the same NDC few months back and the NDC today. So it is not about fine posturing. It's about the numbers. It's about the economy. It's about the typical areas that will give us effect. So all the promises they made, one would have sat down to ask them, what is the brain? What is the policy? How are you going to achieve? So that we measure you by that. But if there's no clear-cut policy as to how to achieve these things, and you are only talking about President Mahama is a nice person and all that. What is his niceness got to do with cancelling essential exams? What is niceness got to do with automatic recruitment of teachers and nurses? 1 year down the lane, they are picketing, they are demonstrating, and you are saying the man is nice. What nice could that be to all of us? So for me, President Mahama summed it up in my first coup d'etat he referred to. His biggest challenge as a person is indecision. He's not able to take a complete decision. So what Prince Kofi Amwabin Captain wrote about him, it could be nice to everybody. But the man himself had confessed that his biggest problem as a human being in my first coup d'etat is to make a decision. And it's been captured, I think in page 67. So for me, this talk about people can compliment you because of patronage, but we should be careful, we should be mindful. You have the mandate of the good people of this country. And you have your own promises you made to us. And on the basis of your promise, they voted for you. So the expectation is that you will come back and tell us, I told you I'll do A, B, C, D. This is what I've done.
Okay.
At the last press conference, Felix was asked, you said we are going to build 600 cheap compounds in 2025. What have you done about it?
Okay.
He has no answer to it. And I'm not surprised because the last NDC government, they said they were deducting the the government appointees 10% of their salaries to build cheap compounds. Do they ask them if they have completed one of such cheap compounds in Canada? So when they keep making promises about cheap compounds, there's much ado about that.
Okay.
So for me, we will only and continue to assess President Mahama on the basis of his own promises to Ghanaians, his deliverables, what he has delivered, what he has not delivered, and we'll weigh the options. Okay. It is not about how nice he looks. It is not about how friendly he is. Okay. It is not about how somebody perceives him. By Ghanaians, you have a social contract with the good people of this country. So we'll measure you by your own social contract. Okay. 3-1-1. Okay. One job, 3 people. 24-hour economy. They couldn't even explain. And I knew this day will come. Right. Because some said they will be having zoos, rearing jata here and there. Today, that is the reality we are living.
Right.
And none of them, 1 year into the administration, we should have a problem. When the MPP promised free SHS, Nanado's first year, strategic, we had it. To the extent that they were even saying that we started it too early. A policy backed by action. A promise backed by action.
How did you start a free SHS?
How did we start a free SHS?
How did you start it?
How did we start it?
Yes.
Were you not in this country?
I was here.
Eh?
You started with first years.
Yes, I'm saying we started first year.
Yes.
It wasn't only first years.
And then
we did
started
it
with first year.
Of course, but it was our first year.
Yes.
Because some people had started, they were second year, third year.
Yes, I'm saying, but that's not what you promised.
What did we promise?
A comprehensive rollout of free
We
SHS.
promised a comprehensive free SHS.
And then you started with.
And by the time we started, we showed policy. We started it.
Yes, but I'm saying that's not what you promised.
That is not what we promised.
If I voted for you because my son or child is going to second.
And I'm saying that the NDC itself was worried to the extent that they said we had started too early. We should have waited into our second year. We did not wait into our second year. That's the point I'm making.
It doesn't take away the facts. It doesn't take away the facts. But I'm saying
we had the policy started.
Yes.
24-hour economy. That will guarantee 133. Yes. And you are not worried 1 year into the administration. There's no policy. No. You are not worried. But you are worried the MPP did not start free SHS second and third year continuous.
I'm just saying that. No, when you raised the issue, about the
policy,
fact that
they do not have a policy, and you should be worried about.
No. I'm saying that when you raise the issue. Sylvester, when you raise the issue,
please,
when you raise that the 24-hour economy hasn't started, right?
They don't even have the policy to look at. Do you have the policy?
Well, Shama is here.
The last time we were here, the last time we were here, 1 million coders. I talked about this. They told me they have the policy they are going to share with you. Have they shared the policy with you? Name people. Ask a policy here. On a policy here. 1 million coders. Have you seen the policy?
You're watching Good Morning.
You should be concerned.
Television. We'll be right back. Hey, we're not charging you.
You should not charge. Charge for nothing.
You should be concerned. Bring the policy.
Pounds. And I ask you directly because you made the comment or you made a promise. I want to find out from you if these 600 chip. In June last year too, you indicated that government was going to construct at about 600 chip compounds. And I ask you directly because you made the comment or you made a promise. I want to find out from you if these 600 chip compounds you said were going to be constructed at the end of 2025 has been constructed, and when are they going to be operational?
It is about a chips compound. Now, it is not my policy. I spoke about it, announced it, but it is government policy. What it is that Akosia this year, and indeed if you followed the budget for
in June last year too, you indicated that government was going to construct at about 600 chip compounds. And I ask you directly because you made the comment or you made a promise. I want to find out from you if these 600 chip compounds you said were going to be constructed at the end of 2025 has been constructed, and when are they going to be operational?
It is about a chips compound. Now, it is not my policy. I spoke about it, announced it, but it is government policy.
Are you a headmaster, headmistress, parent, teacher, or an educator looking for high-quality textbooks for preschool, primary, and junior high school students? Look no further than Advocate Publishing Company. Advocate Publishing Company is a leading publisher of educational materials in Ghana that publishes very engaging, interactive, and comprehensive textbooks that meet the needs of students, teachers, and parents. Our textbooks are thoroughly published to make learning fun and easy. They are also designed to stimulate critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity in students. Make Advocate Publishing your preferred choice for all your educational needs. Explore our range of textbooks and educational resources. Visit us at the old GNTC yard near Kingsway, Accra. You can contact us on 0503 786 776 or 02408 06354, also 0531 600 360, and connect with us on Instagram, X, and Facebook at Advo Publishing. Don't settle for less. Choose the best. Advocate Publishing Company, empowering young minds one textbook at a time. Thinking publishing, think Advocate Publishing.
Ebusiafo ye mama kwaba eba Children's Palace. Nkwala nyema nyina fie enye. Yonkwala ntade mani mema nyina ntare nyina wase. Yonkwala shoes, yonkwala duane, yonkwala wipes, yonkwala diapers, yonkwala toys, baby coat. In fact, the bibia opama omanyina obenye biwa ase.
Located at East Legon Hills, Nana Chrome KFC. Contact us on 059 6377 172. Children's Palace. Happy children, happy fashion. See you soon. Bye bye.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson, Nasamo.
Me didn't tum. Mr. Friendly Calico, just call me cockroach.
Now, Mr. Friendly once now.
Hey, that's you.
Impruka.
Yeah.
Captain Mosquito, double the action. Me did this sasso spray. Mr. Friendly sasso quell. Yeah, go to my sasso.
Come tum preko.
Ande zaba, e wo mo bodi ma nke kwana mo ba.
O ko se, ena me di asemasi o. Kane ne pa no, na saa na me so ya na wode me. Edure na adi me nkwa no. Kingdom Garlic Bitters.
No, benefit me.
Me benefit wan. Wo so kwato wo de.
Abrewa, this mama abrante. Me shuve.
Wona nti kakra na wabre.
Nom Kingdom Garlic Bitters ene ne capsules. Nenya hode abre bia.
Kingdom Garlic Bitters ene the capsules.
Asembia nhu.
Edeben wo hu ama wani agise. Senia na me wife complain won personal. Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules nti. Sesia mpaso aye de.
Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules. Emani tie ni asumdie befi abre bia. Oba bia o de pu ahaw no. Edro ba kupa wo hia ne Tremendous Capsules. Tremendous Capsules esiesie wo ma wo ye obasima. Enro yi wo benya bi wo ba bia ye ton ro bia. Kingdom Herbal, no challenger.
Welcome to Rehoboth Havens Ayumensa, making home ownership simple and achievable for Ghanaians at home and abroad, starting from just 675,000 Ghana cedis. Situated within the serene hills of Ayumensa Danfa, Rehoboth Havens offers breathtaking views of the Pediasi Ebri Mountains. Here, we provide a peaceful environment meticulously designed for modern living. This is more than just a house, it's a lifestyle. Rehoboth Havens is a secure gated community featuring beautifully landscaped surroundings, a dedicated recreational center, unmatched comfort, safety, and peace of mind. For many Ghanaians living abroad, owning a property back home can feel like a distant dream. At Rehoboth Havens, we believe everyone deserves a place to call their own, a space for family, a lasting legacy, and a smart investment for the future. We offer spacious 2, 3, and 4-bedroom homes, moving ready and designed for modern living. Don't wait. Secure your future today. Call us on 0553 751 933 or 0206 823 524 or 0244 764 499. Rehoboth Social Housing. Your housing dream becomes reality.
In every school, there is history. In every homecoming, there is pride. But in 2025, pride became competition. From convoys that shook the streets to colors worn with honor, from powerful reunions to legacy projects that will stand forever, Metro TV asked one bold question: which school truly owned the legacy in 2025? Welcome to School's Homecoming 2025. Who is who? Send your school name, convoy videos, speech and prize giving highlights, and your 2025 legacy projects to 0550 090 702. School's Homecoming, my school, my pride. This event is sponsored by Zoom Lion and Appointed Time Printing. School's Homecoming 2025 is a Metro TV event supported by Original TV, Original 91.9 FM, and Metro Digital.
Every president has handed over power to someone they contested. Wow. Every president has handed over power to someone they contested. President Rawlings handed over power to Kufuor. They contested in 1996, isn't it? Yes. President Kufuor handed over power to who? Atta Mills. They contested again in 2000 and 2004, isn't it? Yes. And then Atta Mills unfortunately passed away and gave it to John Mahama in terms of he was elected. But the Mills Mahama government handed over power to who? Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, whom Mahama had contested. And Nana Akufo-Addo has also handed power to who? To John Mahama, whom he contested. So now, who is John Mahama going to hand over power?
Akuko force kura omuntwa 10 cedi akuko force na 15 cedi ne twa no so omuntwa 10 cedi aje say 15 cedi decide ni pa no fifi aba wa besisi me obetra kan ma me de me fa ne nkofala na me de me didi ame no mo nkwan omo fa ba se ne mra ye adwuma ne ye be koso aye se na ye say na ye 5 cedi so be say ye say manku ni o eze wo baby 7 cedis.
All right, so you're live on Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. I'm here with Mr. Sylvester Tetteh, who is a former MP and a former Deputy Minister for Information, also a former MP for the Botiano English amount from. He's here with us. And also Shamima Muslim is a Deputy Presidential Spokesperson. Both of them are here. Shams, you have a quick reaction to what he said so far?
I hope it's a quick reaction, okay. But I would have loved to have used this time to speak more comprehensively about what, President Mahama is delivering. I love President Mahama's kind of indecision. Let me start by saying this. Ghanaians are not confused. I think last year I said that the fact that NPP lost by the margin that they lost decimated to a micro-minority of 87, who today are threatening everyone other than to confront the threats that face their own, government. A weak to a vicious, toxic internal context is when they choose to confront government over matters that are determined matters. If you look at the posturing this morning of Honorable Sylvester Sly, a.k.a., it is obvious that the New Patriotic Party has learnt no lessons at all. They have refused to accept the fact that Ghanaians returned a certain verdict based on their lived experiences, not propaganda. They refuse to accept the fact that it was partings that caused their defeat. Partings of their actions, as we have just seen, posturing, partings of their inactions, and above all, their pattern of consistent arrogance, where they concede no wrong. And today, 1 year in opposition, they still cannot bring themselves to accept what they did wrong. Listening to my brother, then NPP is a wicked party.
Why?
Because if Sly, speaking so emotionally and vociferously this morning about what is happening wrongly in this and providing us brilliant solutions, what happened to the brilliant men they offered to the people of Ghana at the onset of their government 9 years now ago? Then they were wicked. If they had all these brilliant ideas, if they had all this competence to deliver this country to the Gadgets, from the Gadgetsburg economy that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo promised in his 3-time campaign before God smiled upon him. Where was the Gadgetsburg economy upon their exit? Did they suddenly forget it? So only today does Honorable realize that the structure of our economy is imports-led and so is not sustainable. Only today is he discounting the value of stabilizing the city when their current flag bearer, the failed 2024 flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, said he had arrested the city and thrown it into the sea or given it to the IGP. What really were they promising Ghanaians? When they said they had the men to manage the economy, what were they telling Ghanaians? Who took inflation to 54%? He says they left it at 23%. Because you were under an IMF program. Because you had destroyed the economy. Because corruption had eaten deep into the economy. Because today your finance minister is able, and you have no words of wisdom to urge your finance minister to return and face accountability for his poor, shambolic stewardship. Let me withdraw the word shambolic. It has the first part of my name. For his collapse of the, I'll use Sly, for his Sly collapse of the Ghanaian economy. Sly has no words. This grandstanding of the New Patriotic Party, this pattern of consistent intransigence is what has put them in the position that they are today. Still observe the posturing, even of their leaders in parliament. How tone deaf can you be? How insulting can you be to the general intelligence of the Ghanaian people? Also, they don't know what is good for them. Though the 8 years administration, of which Bawumia has come to apologize, of which members of their party has come to concede that indeed their fundamentals are weak, were weak then, are still weak today, of which they apologize that the crisis was more than they thought because they were living in a bubble, of which members who are contesting for the look at the revelations. Listen to Kennedy Ejapong tell us about the mindset of his own party people. So it's not surprising that after everything we have been through, these people who destroyed this nation in 8 years expect President Mahama to come with a magic wand. So I accept this morning that President Mahama's indecision is what today is allocating 110 million cedis in the 2026 budget for implementing the 24-hour economy. I accept today that President Mahama's indecision is what has stabilized the city consistently over several months, that today traders can breathe. Traders, GUTA members can contest that they are able to get dollars and import their products. I accept that indecision can actually give 245 million cedis to the Ministry of Food and Agriculture so that we can become food sustainable and food, secure. And that because of this indecision of President John Dramani Mahama, Ghana was able to get a glut of farm produce in the last farming season. If indecision can pay our foreign debts up to the even beyond our expected time of repayment, then we like that. We want more of such indecision. If indecision today can move Ghana's junk economy status that they left to a positive outlook, where not only IMF, our development partners, and all other countries are observing independent voices, singling out Ghana for the quickest and fastest turnaround, if that is indecision, we want more of such President Mahama's indecision. Mora Audu, if indecision is what has led President John Dramani Mahama, when members of his own government were clamoring for the removal of the Office of Special Prosecutor, an office which they set up as a disguise to use to torment their political opponents. An office whose first office holder, Martin Amidu, upon exit, lamented and disclosed that the real intention behind the setting up of that office was malicious indeed. He was never intended to be independent-minded when he turned the spotlight on their corrupt activities. If that is indecision, that President Mahama can suggest and direct to his members that please allow these independent institutions to work. We want more of such indecision. If President Mahama's indecision today has led him to announce that he is departing from your vindictive politics of rallying up people anyhow without due process, then we want that. If indecision is what grassroots members, angry, demanding quick prosecution, like the wife of the Honorable Oforiatta, telling Gloria to quickly hurry up and put NDC people in prison. If indecision is what President Mahama has directed his Attorney General to do his professional work and ensure that every Ghanaian citizen gets his due date in court, we want more of such indecision. If indecision is what would tell President Mahama to announce to us when you abandoned projects started with the taxpayers' money because of political inexpediency is what I'll call it. And today, President Mahama has announced that your Agenda 111 hospitals that you invested millions of taxpayers' money in without the completion of a single hospital to show for it, and you have it within yourself to look in the eyes of Ghanaians this morning with good hearts, I don't know if it is, to tell us that what have we done to the nurses? Hello? Upon the exit of President John Dramani Mahama, we had absorbed all the nurses, because what had he done? He had invested massively in hospital infrastructure. The Legon Hospital, first quaternary hospital in Ghana. The rich Greater Accra Hospital, you are in Accra. Where did they get nurses from? Which hospital did you complete and how many nurses did you employ? Can you answer these basic questions?
Let me answer.
Don't answer, because when you also came, you told me not to answer. Don't answer.
Okay, I have my day.
Agenda 111, President Mahama has directed Health Minister, go and complete those that are at least at an advanced level of development. Complete them so that the nurses will get jobs, so that our doctors will get jobs, so that the good people of this country will get access to health. That is indecision for you. All the best. Today, just yesterday, he forgets that under the labor exchange program, so that our nurses, because you see, we are not like you, we are not reckless in spending. The reason why we have achieved this stability is because of discipline, fiscal discipline, where we reprioritized government interventions and put money in critical sectors that will still generate some productivity, that will still ease the hardship, which we promised the people of Ghana, to ease the hardships of Ghanaians, removing the nuisance taxes, and ensuring that we are able to invest in health, in education, even some shelter and social protection for our most vulnerable. That is why today Ghana Statistical Service is saying several thousands of Ghanaians have come out of what? Multi-dimensional poverty because of these interventions. So we will not follow you. We will not follow your imprudence because of political expediency and expend what we can't afford to expend. President John Dramani Mahama has vested confidence in the managers of our economy. Atu Forcing, Bank of Ghana, Pandit Governor, all of them, to ensure at all levels we are prioritizing. And in our 2026 budget, we are transparently communicating to the people of Ghana that we cannot yet eat what we haven't produced. We cannot eat in spite of our debts, as if we were rich. So we will have to consolidate the gains. We will spend money in critical sectors. It means some areas may not get the resources that they expect. But to be able to move out of the woods that they left us, we have to do these things. Okay. That is why every day President keeps saying that we appreciate your sacrifices. Please keep faith with us a little bit more whilst we are able to ensure that we put money in the productive sectors of the economy. So the big push program that is turning Ghana into a construction site, he cannot see it. The road infrastructure that is happening all around us, he cannot see it. Locally financed big push and the partnerships we are receiving through PPP initiatives to support some of these, they are deaf to it. They are deaf to it. And if they insist to continue on this path, the people of Ghana will reward them handsomely. Again, with this time, perhaps less than the 38% that they received. Because President Mahama will continue to focus the energy sector, debts that they left behind, You watched and read the statement that came from independent power producers, disclosing that truly and indeed, with negotiation and good faith and goodwill and commitment, the government had indeed taken steps to defray the debts they left behind recklessly. Honorable Ko mentioned ECG. Honorable Ko mentioned ECG. He has so soon forgotten about PDS. He has so soon forgotten about the Ejapa scandal, which sought to appropriate our natural resource and put them in some safe haven so they can go and enjoy their booty. Today, he is saying proudly that who did we jail under our leadership? But that is what happens. That is what happens when you dine with some group of people. You must dine with them with a very long stick. You must dine with them, because I keep saying that this vindictive politics was introduced by the NPP after the 2000 elections. Because PNDC transitioned into NDC. NDC has provided the most stable regime under the Fourth Republic. They sat out of major national events like the making of the 1992 Constitution, which they benefited from in 2000. If the NDC or PNDC were not thinking about the interest of this country, they would have caused chaos all around. And today, NDC can proudly say that their tradition has provided the most sustainable chapter, democratic chapter in Ghana's history. When they took over in 2000, what did they do? They seized toilets. They arrested people in traffic. They went and confiscated. They threw people. Chachu Chikata was put in jail upon the dying embers of the Kufuor administration. He then announced that he was giving Chachu an amnesty, which he rightfully rejected. So, they always want to throw the first stone. And when NDC responds, as some of us, as the next government that came did, they would then now sit on their high horses. They forget so quickly. They tout that they are a rule of law party, but everything they do is lawless. The Ayawaso West Wagon, they have flown all the people who did it away. Shooting life. Maxed human beings. Are you laughing at your transgressions that you still are not apologizing for? You are not sorry for how low you brought this country, not only within the eyes of Ghanaians, but in the eyes of the world. You are not sorry. They are not sorry. The patterns continue. The patterns of arrogance, the patterns of inaction, and the patterns of contrived action to hold this nation back. How else can a minority announce, a minority in parliament, lawmakers announce that they will not allow the government of the day to pass legislation through whatever certificate of agency? Let me also tell them, most respectfully, even though sometimes they don't deserve it, that this government will do everything to build this country that we are building. And if that involves bringing legislations under certificate of agency, so will it be. And they will do nothing about it. And they will be unable to do anything about it, because the law would work swiftly. And swiftly the law will work. Let me just wrap up by again reminding dear Ghanaians, you returned a verdict because you saw what they did. You established their patterns. These patterns have continued. They have no intention of learning from the mistakes that President Mahama, in his forward to our manifesto, said his time in opposition offered him a deep, sober reflection upon the actions he took, the consequences of those actions, the mistakes of his government. And when he lost the election, he didn't sit. He went around to apologize to Ghanaians, to hear them again. He went around multiple times. He is the most in tune president of our Fourth Republic.
Let me bring in Sylvester.
We wish them all the best. It will be good for them to think about Saturday, their national Congress, rather than throwing these baseless salvos.
Saturday's Congress, so presidential primaries as well. Yes, Sylvester.
My brother, if critiquing...
Oh, and if I can even just say, they can go to the websites of the 24-hour economy. Perhaps just 1 minute, sir. I beg your pardon. He mentioned 24-hour economy, and as I said also, we are recruiting some nurses to go to other countries. Antigua, yesterday, a number of them left, and it is part of government's program to provide opportunity for our health sector workers. For the 24-hour economy, perhaps because he's no longer an MP, he does not know that the 24-hour economy has been moved through the action of President Mahama from a secretariat to an authority that would have powers, legal backing to operate and to be able to work with not only the private sector, but government agencies and institutions that would also have to operationalize it. So if he's not aware, there's a live website of the 24-hour economy. All their policy briefs are there. There is an expression of interest form. They have received a number of interests. If he doesn't know, the Vice President visited one sanitary pad manufacturing company. They are one of the private sectors that we are going to work with, PPP, to run a 24-hour shift to produce sanitary pads for our free sanitary programs. Perhaps he was not in the country when DVLA announced its 24-hour service, where Moro Standard from City closed late from work and when then was able to get his service rendered. Perhaps he was not there when the Foreign Affairs, the Passport Office, announced their operation of the 24-hour economy. Perhaps he is not aware that the Ghana Ports and Harbour Authority, these are all pilots. We are not reckless as to roll out a big program without piloting, without the foundational works. We are not that reckless as a government.
Well, Shamima, you need to take it easy. First on yourself.
You
need to take it easy.
You didn't take it easy on yourself at all.
You should take it easy on yourself. Because you see, let me provide a quick response to some of the things you said. All right. First of all,
then we'll come back and respond
the sending nurses outside this country. It didn't start from the NDC.
Who said it did?
But you are saying
you're always setting your own questions and answering them.
Shamima,
you're always setting
I know how to do this. When you were talking, I was so quiet.
Who said so?
You said you just mentioned that you were creating some opportunities for nurses to go outside.
Yes.
And I'm saying that it is not new in this country.
And so.
No, Washama, he's not.
You don't do this.
Please,
you don't do this.
No, relax.
No problem.
He's not suggesting he said it's the first time. He's not suggesting.
All right.
Yes, please
I'm saying that. Saying that you are creating opportunity for nurses in this country. Yes. Go to Barbados. Go to Guyana. Go to the Caribbean. We started it.
Yes, please.
There are nurses there.
Okay.
How many of them even? But again, let me tell you, the fact that you are not recruiting nurses does not mean there are no spaces, there are no vacancies for their recruitment. I just told you what your Minister of Health has said. And you're attributing it to the fact that you have not built hospitals. Please. When you left the 4 badges in 2016, 2015, 2014, 2013, you left all of them home. We didn't build hospitals, we recruited them. So stop talking about these things. Ghanaians are watching us. Your health minister, who sits in cabinet, says that you need 6 billion Ghana cedis to recruit all these nurses. He didn't say you didn't have vacancies. He says when you travel all over the country, there are a lot of vacancies. There are places they are looking for nurses. You don't have money. So when you tout better economic indication, it is exposing you by your own cabinet ministers. So stop making those allusions. You are talking of putting money for Agenda 111. Government is a continuum. Your E-blocks, didn't you put money in some of the E-blocks and complete them? There were E-block schools you built in the bushes. We put up additional facilities, including boarding facilities.
No.
But these are facts. When you sit on TV, you are a government spokesperson. Casting innuendos at people, we are talking of governance. If criticizing President Mahama and you think it's arrogance, we'll be more arrogant in the coming days. Get your loins together.
You are welcome.
Get your loins together.
You are welcome.
If criticizing President Mahama, I've told you,
who has said
will
this?
Continuously critique his policies.
You are always contriving your questions and answering them. My brother, who has said don't criticize? You're saying that somebody
Shamima,
was sorry.
Please,
go on.
You stop this.
No, but don't misinform.
I'm too hard for
you
this.
You are misinforming.
Let's
so am I.
I am saying that if criticizing President Mahama's policies, He's a gentleman. He's a president. I respect him, His Excellency. But as far as his policies are concerned, we'll critique it. And I started by saying that you said automatic recruitment of nurses and teachers. I didn't force that in your throat. You said so. 1 year into your administration, I am asking you, what has become of your own campaign promise to Ghanaians that there will no longer be a licentiate exams? Has Mahama come out to apologize to Ghanaians?
It has been incorporated as part of their service.
Please go ahead.
We are critiquing President Mahama's 1 year in office.
Look, and he said he would do everything in 1 year.
Moro.
Please go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Don't be ruffled.
Please go. No, when she was talking, I was. Why are you so worried when I started to speak?
It's peace.
I was so quiet. I was writing. You have a paper, right?
Peace and happiness.
This morning,
No.
this morning when you came, this morning when
It's
you,
all
when
loud,
you came, before the cameras opened up for you were praising her plenty. What has happened?
We were praising me.
But she's a sister.
You were giving her big ups.
The job for the kingdom of God. The job for the kingdom of God. It's not about. She's my sister.
I know.
We were talking from the back office. We'll go back to her, but we have a duty. We have a duty. So I'm saying that this is not the first time a government continues another government project.
Yes.
And we hope to see more of that.
Right.
We hope to see more of that in the interest of this country. So you don't praise yourself that we started Agenda 111 and you are continuing. And I'm just reminding you that your Ye blocks for 4 years, you left some there.
Okay.
We have come to complete and make it better. You remember the Aflao Ye block that the chief spoke bitterly about it? It was completed at IPP Tena. The skits are there now. There are many of the Agenda 1 Ye blocks that we completed.
Well done.
Talk about University of Ghana Medical School. When we came, we had to continue to make it operational. And you have to do that as a country. So nobody is fighting that. But I'm interrogating the things you said. And let me also remind you, you said, who took Ghana to 54% inflation? I'll read to you President Mahama's own response at the World Bank meetings and then the UN meetings. He said, COVID-19 in 2 years has eroded the gains of the African continent, including Ghana. President Mahama, he acknowledged why we went to that place. We talk of we are an IMF. We put in a lot of effort to take Ghana out of the worst. And within that period, we brought down inflation from 54 to 23. Look at the drastic reduction. And today, the policy we put in place.
What did you do?
Hi. Charlie, you have heart attack. You should stop this. These are facts. By the time we left off, the IMF predicted that the trajectory, the trend at which the inflation is coming, it will come to a single digit in the next year. And that is why when you came, you had negotiated to extend our own policy with the IMF. You had negotiated for extension. So you are still under the IMF, our own baby. Of course, that's a fact. Unless you are not aware. I will not celebrate a draft policy. I want to see the policy out there. When you go to the 24-hour economic secretariat, there's no policy there. They only tell you it's in parliament. Let the policy come out. Let's interrogate it. Tema, Port and Harbors, I've told you. They were called the agents there. They were doing 24 hours long ago. This is not new. We want to see policy, concrete policy that will drive production, industrialization. That will bring into fruition the 133. I'm interested. It's their policy backbone that will drive it. So for me, all these things, the IMF itself had acknowledged the devastating effects of COVID-19 and Russia-Ukraine war. That is why countries like Korea even renegotiated their debt exchange. Over 56 countries around the world. It couldn't have been Ghana alone. In the United Kingdom, within 6 months, 3 governments had collapsed. So where you are today, Mahama, you were humiliated in 2016 election as a sitting president. You didn't defeat a sitting president. You were a sitting president. You were defeated, unprecedented in the history of this country. Mahama was not a sitting president. You were vice president. You became president, acting president and president. So don't take Ghanaians for granted.
Thank you.
And I'm saying that
87 Battalion, thank you.
Let me tell you, all the things you are saying today, the sum is on the street. The sum of all that you are doing, if you believe in what you are doing, that you put in concrete policy, your own actions as a government. Look, you are talking, I don't know, Sunda. We have 3 biggest sanitary manufacturers in this country. When you went to procure your first way, did you procure it from them? Did you procure the sanitary pads from them? You inflated the price of sanitary pads. We made so much noise about it. We made so much noise about it.
Look, you have to hold him to speak.
Please. The sanitary pads.
You can't sit here and lie blatantly. Honorable, please.
Please, don't choose your words carefully. To say I'm lying blatantly.
This one,
please, Shamima, with all due respect, I will not take this from you.
Which one?
I won't take you calling me a blatant liar.
No, I didn't call you a liar. I said what you have said is a lie.
Please.
No, I've just asked it is a lie that contracts were inflated. It's a lie.
Please.
So I'm just asking for further better. When it's done, then we can interrogate it. Please.
When I'm dealing, I deal with you as a lady and as a sister. I won't take certain words from you.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Let's move
Please, I'm very charitable this morning, and take it from me. Don't go there.
Yes.
You don't come to the station and come and insult.
I've not
I've just asked you about.
I've not.
Look, I've told you.
Yes, please go ahead.
So you see, when I make a statement, it is the right of the host to ask me for further particulars.
Yes, I want to know more about that allegation you made.
I can provide you all the documents. Honorable Vincent Assefa.
All right.
He held public press conference.
Right.
The bid they sent for that job. We had companies and we have prices, basic prices on our shelves, and even the ones they produce here. Okay? I have been an advocate of banning imported sanitary pads because we have more than capacity for our national requirement as a country. So go and check the procurement. I can provide you the details. None of them were procured here. And even the prices. Listen, as if I showed it to all of us. I'll get it for you. I'll ask him to send it to me. I'll get it for you. Show it to your viewers before we leave. So I'm saying that it is good to promote made in Ghana products. That is where when you send money, you guarantee the jobs we are promising the people. That is why nobody is against stabilization of our currency. But it must be balanced. That you are talking of Agua, AGI. Have you gone to speak to them? They do the manufacturing. They do the industry.
No, I'm very much interested in this.
Yes, so I'm telling you.
What presser that you're.
Yes, I'm telling you. I'm saying that I will give a copy to you.
Okay.
You can show. Maybe if not today.
So you're
tomorrow.
saying that the prices.
The prices. I mean, there was a debate, public debate about the prices.
Right.
That look, we know how my sanitary pads are sold here.
Right.
Various brands and all that. We show the prices and what they are procuring it for.
Okay.
We show all the prices, and I'll show it to you. You put it on your network and let everybody watch before you call me a liar. So please, these things that we are talking about, it's about nation building. You may not be comfortable with everything that we say.
Has Vincent? Do you know whether Vincent has forwarded this? Has drawn the attention of the Office of the Special Prosecutor?
I don't know. I don't know that. I'm saying that
he only did a press conference. And
yes, I'll show it to you. About the office of that doesn't mean that if you have a document, every document must end up at there. You create the awareness and you let Ghanaians be the judge.
Yeah. No, because you spoke about it confidently.
Yes, I've spoken about it and I still stand by it.
Okay.
And I'll show you the numbers. Yes.
Okay.
I'll show you.
All right.
So please, these things that we are doing, we are not doing.
Follow up on that as well.
Yes, of course. I'll show. I'll promise you. I'll give it to you.
Follow up on that.
I'll give it to you.
Okay.
So for me, nobody should think that you win an election sacrosanct. Right. Go and check the euphoria in 2001 when President Kufuor became president. Go and check when President Akufo-Addo became president in 2017. So for me, this is not new. But what is important, we hold government accountable to their own words, to their own promises.
But themselves.
On the basis of that. But the MPP is not in government. Why are you holding MPP into government today?
You said you offer a responsible opposition. So you think that opposition doesn't require accountability?
Look.
No, we're having a conversation, my brother.
The holding opposition, that opposition will give a responsible opposition. It doesn't lie in your mouth to tell opposition how to hold you accountable. When I sit here today, I'm only referring to your promises. I'm referring to your manifesto. I'm referring to the things you said. I have not attacked your person. I've not attacked your person. When you make a promise, I'll hold you to the promise. And what is right?
And it's fair.
I am not saying that MPP. I am not saying that MPP.
Yes.
8 years. We've not made any mistakes one way or the other. We have.
What we do?
It's a governance.
Okay.
But that is why where some of us will sit, will caution.
Okay.
Look, I was here. Didn't I caution the 1 million coders program? Last year, they promised to train 1 million Ghanaian youth into coding.
Okay.
As of now, I question again the policy behind it. They don't have it. They don't have it. Over a month ago, the things I'm doing here, I did it before. They don't have it. So when you are doing something, because we've been there before, we caution you. It doesn't mean that because we lost elections, we should keep shut in this country.
No.
When we say you making mistakes,
you're talking about the policy document.
The policy document, because as a policy analyst, when you come out with something you want to do, we'll scrutinize it.
Okay.
And you see its viability or otherwise. Okay. You don't just come and speak. Then tomorrow you get into government, you are doing something else.
All right.
We'll hold you to what the social contract you signed with them.
Okay.
LGBT in this country. Look at what the NDC did. It became very topical. Galamsey, very topical.
Okay.
Cocoa prices, very topical. Today we are holding you as to how you are better managing these things than you talked about.
Okay.
So if in the face of all these things you said, you had the mandate of the people, and yet we come back, that cocoa LBC's debt is over 10 billion.
Okay.
You talked about national assets, that MPP is a property owning democracy. I thought you were going to explain what you read about the MPP's own vision and its way. So for me, I think that the things we are talking about, it's not personal, it's not against anybody's person, it's about policy. We'll continue to scrutinize it, we'll continue to talk about it.
Okay.
How uncomfortable you'll be, that is your problem. But the ordinary people are watching. I've made a statement here, and I urge you to do a follow-up. The procurement of the buses from Egypt, whether or not he went to Parliament for that procurement.
All right.
We want to see. It's another matter. 500 in total, 150 first is coming.
Okay.
With the Metromas, these are things that are coming up.
Okay.
We are interested.
All
so
right.
it doesn't mean that you hate somebody or you disagree with somebody because of that.
No problem. We'll take a breather.
Yeah,
When we come back, you know what?
Comments, critiques,
I was going to ask that we discuss the minorities presser, but it's pretty much most of the things that you've talked about. You responded to a lot of the things that. Okay, if you can do that very briefly, because we spent a lot of time on this, on governance, strict governance issues, and so we would have to move on to something else. So you're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. Please don't go anywhere.
Confident smile is everything. Kel Charcoal toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Charcoal toothpaste. Kel Charcoal toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo kendini ehu behia se metwa sapapa dia to ama me manfo Kel Charcoal's natural ingredients ene bɔ me se ho ban e ma ne sren ne sanso mama hotoso e wo bedwam.
Kel Charcoal toothpaste. Choose Kel Charcoal toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Wabedum tamaso. Hey, J. Watch it, na learning. Missy, watch and learn. Mekwaya mabesisia. Abozege. Akache say no ya konate and the more drink woman. Hey. But Oh, sorry. She knew her old days. Eji, Dabio, baby wom. Ready? Hey, baby wom. Ah, Eji, I'll cause some discomfort. Ah. Sorry, well, uncle, where would the dad? Why your funeral?
Say a Pesori insecticide GB at a user. Co pharmacy in a shop biam. Na mum say a pharmacy supermarket and a shop ra. Na repedudu eto akotonwa. Ono fra Royal Dutch and our Aerofield Trading. Effie spray with daimwa.
Healthy soil is where every great harvest begins. At ACAP, we turn waste into wealth, producing rich organic compost made right here in Ghana for our farmers and our future. Whether you are planting small or big, ACAP compost improves your soil, boosts your yields, and saves you money. Even in your own home garden, give your soil life naturally. ACAP compost, from waste to wealth.
Zoomlion Private Services Limited, your waste management expert. One of the most innovative aspects of our business is our commitment to adopting cutting-edge technologies and sustainable practices in the waste management industry. We have invested in modern waste collection trucks, digital payment systems. We have also implemented efficient waste segregation systems and also developed strategic partnerships with our various stakeholders in the waste management value chain. I can talk about our innovative approach that enables us to reduce waste disposal costs, also minimize our environmental impact, and provide our clients with seamless customer service experience. We are the waste management experts.
In every school, there is history. In every homecoming, there is pride. But in 2025, pride became competition. From convoys that shook the streets to colors worn with honor, from powerful reunions to legacy projects that will stand forever. Metro TV asked one bold question: which school truly owned the legacy in 2025? Welcome to School's Homecoming 2025. Who is who? Send your school name, convoy videos, speech and prize giving highlights, and your 2025 legacy projects to 0550 090 702. School's Homecoming, my school, my pride. This event is sponsored by Zoomlion and Appointed Time Printing. School's Homecoming 2025 is a Metro TV event supported by Original TV, Original 91.9 FM, and Metro Digital.
I've been at this job before. When we came into office, the crisis that faced us was very difficult. In my own imagination, I thought that we'll need about 2 years to begin to see a turnaround. That's what I thought. But Ebenezer, this is how far God has brought us. We're all surprised and shocked at the quick turnaround. Anytime I meet the IMF officials and the World Bank officials, they themselves cannot believe, what has happened in Ghana. So Ghana has now become the poster boy, of the IMF and the World Bank. So when they go to other African countries, they say, don't you see Ghana? Look at what Ghana has done. And that's why I say it is only the grace of God. It is only the grace of God. I mean, to bring inflation from 23.8% to 5.4% in 1 year. I mean, how did we manage that? For the first time, to see our long-suffering Ghanaian currency, the cedi, that has been taking a beating over the years. Dollars have been arrested, they've broken jail and all that. For the first time, to see the Ghanaian cedi appreciate by 37% in 1 year, it's only God. It's by His grace. The IMF gave us a primary balance of 1.5%. And 2025, our primary balance is 2%, higher than the IMF gave. And so, God has been good to us.
You're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My name is Audu Moro, and I'm here with Shamima Muslim, who is the Deputy Presidential Spokesperson, and also Sylvester Tete, who is a former MP for the Botiano English Amanfrom and also a former Deputy Information Minister. Now, let me just do this quickly. Someone has just sent me a rejoinder, which is from the Education Ministry, in relation to the allegation that you made, the claims that you made, which is a re-echoing of what the minority said in that press conference, which was led by Vincent Eko Asifua. Now it says, Ministry of Education denies scandal over sanitary pad procurement. And this is November 26, 2025. So this is yesterday. So it was issued. And it says that Dr. Clement Apak, the Deputy Minister of Education, has denied allegations of alleged corruption and scandals surrounding the procurement of sanitary pads for schoolgirls. He described the claims of pads being sold at 45 cities as chop bar arithmetic. Now, the New Patriotic Party MV Minority Caucus in Parliament on Tuesday, November 25, accused the government of profligate spending under the free sanitary pass policy for schoolgirls in basic and senior high schools. Addressing the Parliament press corps in Parliament, Mr. Vincent Asifua, who is the NPP MB for Old Tafo, cited figures from 2025 and 2026 budget statement to back the caucus's concern. He said a simple calculation based on the total number of parts purchased implied that the government procured each pack at about 45 cedis, far above the prevailing market price ranging between 25 and 15 cedis. Now, the statement here doesn't give us further and better particulars about what makes Vincent's allegations false. It just says it's not true. Maybe I need to... The gentleman who sent me this from the Education Ministry sent me the fuller, press statements. Let me look. Let me listen to what order. If you have the video, let's have it. I want to hear what Dr. Clement Apak has to say in terms of his explanation why the disparities between the figures, 45 and 25, indeed, if that's the case. Now, let me also do this quickly, otherwise I won't be able to make time to read it. So Idi Mukhtari from Adenta says that, good morning, please ask Mr. Slide to calm down. The aggression is not helping. Is he intending to bully the lady? What he's doing doesn't make us enjoy the program as we used to do. His energy should be directed to the leadership of the MPP party and to that of the sorrowful minute minority in parliament in order to sit up and to stop the unnecessary boycott and the pressures of irrelevance. We are all observers of this government in place. Ghana is working again. He should give us a break. Musa Batwa from Asawasi says that Moreover, it's surprising that Sly is taking offense at his comments being described as lies, yet he continues to peddle untruths about the sanitary pad procurement. You cannot make blanket claims and, when asked to provide evidence, shift the responsibility to the host to investigate. This is not a posture of a serious opposition, but that of the destructive individuals. This conduct is inimical to Ghana's governance system. My regards to the elder statesman, Dada Ato Ahoy. Samaku Kelly from East Legon Hill says, good morning, Moro. What is Honorable Sylvester Tete saying? Is he talking to Ghanaians or residents of another country this morning? Yes, governance is a continuum. But if he claims the NPP government came and completed the E-block started by President Mahama during his first term in office, why did we have the double track in our schools for all the 8 years in office? If for over a whole year, the NPP is still not acknowledging the hard facts about why they were voted out, then the road is still a long one for them in opposition. Shama, you do all. Today we are getting a lot of shout-outs. Anyway, so Sandy Saliu says that is anyone surprised about Honorable Sylvester's submission? How did he manage to smuggle 24-hour economic policy into the discourse? How about a book our dear President wrote and the correlation that feed into the discourse? It makes wonder that Honorable is still in the cycle of grief, perhaps the denial stage, but I can understand that with all her great dancing panache, Hens Boogie will never attract the hawk. Good morning. Okay, I get it now. Sani Salihu. And then Reverend Jones Latte, your very good, your uncle, Reverend Jones Latte, Shaima. Reverend Jones Latte. Yes. Apparently he's in town now.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, you know, he has to. You know, this is what he says. He says that he says that, good morning, there's an old adage, this one is coming from him, that reads, make new friends but keep the old. Tell Sharma and Sylvester that nobody has ever won gold in past trophies. And then he continues, who said that in 2 years all these villages will have toilets? That's Sly, remember this promise. Now, Vincent Kwasefwa, you are calling my number. I believe there's something. Is it a case that you have something to say? If indeed that's the case, Bright, please call Vincent Kwasefwa and find out what exactly he wants to say, because he's been calling my number. I guess that he maybe has some quick inputs to make into this matter. But anyway, so Bright, please call Vincent and say, well, let's find out what exactly he has to chip in. Now, good morning. This one here is from Seteya. Says, good morning. It's interesting that Sly has soon forgotten his past. Paid $2 million for SkyTrain that never materialized, $12 million for Palugo irrigation and no-show, millions of dollars spent on listing of Ijapa Gold royalties on London Stock Exchange and no-show, $80,000 for spare parts for each ambulance, more expensive than the ambulance itself. The IMF and all the Bretton Woods institutions and rating agencies equally made the same predictions in 2016. And President Mahama assured Ghanaians of better economic conditions from 2017 to 2028. 28 of the E-block came with boarding facilities. Oh, okay. So Vincent actually wants us to call him. So Bright, please call Vincent. I guess that he has something he wants to quickly chip in.
Yeah,
and then Tafai Namreha says, how do the MPP have no shame at all? They talk too much, not knowing that Ghanaians don't want to listen to them at all. Sir Obama says that, Sir Obama, I should tell you that he says hi.
We are friends now this new year.
He said,
things past have been forgiven.
If she would look out for me because she's in power, I'll do so in opposition.
This year we are starting on a clean slate this year.
And then he says, Sly, he says hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
Obama.
He says you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. So I'll read the final one, and then we'll try and reach out to Vincent Kwasefwa. I guess that he has something very important to tell us, to share with us. Now, Al-Hassan Sise says that from Zenu Central, says, good morning to everyone, especially my sister Shamima Moro. He said, Moro, it's easy to be relevant when you're speaking with facts and figures. Since Honorable Sylvester is unable to provide a sanitary pass allegation, he will continue to struggle to be relevant. It doesn't matter how much Honorable Sylvester is talking about the IMF being their brainchild. He says, wow. Okay, so Dr. Clement Apak is also calling. I guess he also wants to make a quick intervention on what we're talking about. So, Doc, hello. Doc, we're going to ring you. We're going to ring you. Don't worry. We're going to call you right away. Okay?
Good.
Yes, we'll call you right away.
I'll respond.
No problem. No problem. Doc, we're going to call you right away. So please hang on a minute. So, Bright, please call Dr. Clement Apak as well. I've done something for the first time. I've picked a call on. So Bright is going to call you too. You know, that's the beauty about this show. That's why it's a show. You know, we don't hide anything. I mean, people want to give a response or a rejoinder, would allow them to do just that for as long as it's directly related to the matter under discussion. So would ring them shortly, and they will get them to tell us exactly what they have to say about this sanitary pad matter, because it keeps coming up in our conversation. You know, I mean, look, the fact of the matter is that everybody watches Good Morning Ghana. You know, because if we say something here, you don't come and, you know, respond appropriately to what we're saying, it remains there, because I don't know everything. None of us knows everything. Nobody is a repository of knowledge. And so if you're watching and somebody says something, you say it's not true, you want to tell us what your truth is, you let us know, and then because when people say things here, Ghanaians listen, Ghanaians take it as the truth, because it's a platform of the truth. Where we know we have the counterfact, we'll interrogate it. If we don't have the counterfact, we'll not pretend. Otherwise, we'll become a laughing stock. We don't want to do that. So we're more than happy to. Manche Bruce has sent a message. It says that Moro, Sly did not lie. In fact, while the market price of the pack of sanitary pads was around 15 cedis to 25, government documents indicate that the Ministry of Education was procuring them at approximately 44 to 45 cedis per pack. Based on this 2025-2026 budget statement, 6.6 million packs were procured at a total cost of 292 million cedis, resulting in an estimated cost of 44 cedis per pack. To call him a liar is very condescending. No, she didn't say he was a liar. He said what he's saying is not true.
I don't speak like that.
Yes. So I rather think that we should be educated on the discrepancy. Manche, who's the second? So this one, dear Manche. You're not right. Shamima will never call anybody a liar. I mean, no Shamima for more than 20 years. She will never call anybody a liar. Anyway, so Bright, please put them on. Let's do this quickly. We may not be able to do the MPP, upcoming presidential primaries because
I
of
have
time.
a word. I should have a word.
Yes. So do we have Vincent on? Yes, please put Vincent on. Then also Dr. Clement Apak, he wants to respond
2 minutes,
and set the record straight. 5 minutes each. Yes, set the record straight on this matter. It's extremely important. And okay, so Niyama, thank you very, very much. He sent me the video of who's on the line? Vincent. Is Vincent on? Yeah. Okay, Vincent. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning, Moro.
How are you?
Moro, I'm okay. How are you too?
Please speak up a bit. I can hardly hear you.
Yes, I'm okay. How are you too?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Moro.
Wonderful. Yeah. I don't know whether it's from our side, but you are not that audible. If you can speak up.
Is it okay now, Moro?
I think it's better now. I think this is much better now. It's much better now. Good. So, talk to me. What do you have to say? You've been monitoring that conversation.
First and foremost, let me say a very good morning to your discussant and to your cherished viewers. And
hello, Vincent?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hello, Vincent?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, so I was saying that first and foremost, let me congratulate your discussant, especially Sly, for doing a very good work this morning.
Thank you.
So, number one,
we appreciate that.
Under no circumstance did I churn out any numbers that was from me or from elsewhere, apart from government source books. And when I say government source books, I mean parliamentary handouts and budgetary allocations that were made, and reporting that was also made in the budget. Put differently, every document that I made mention of and every number that I mentioned is from their own document. That is the budget statement. Now, the calculations that was made is a calculation that was also sourced from the same 2026 budget. It did not come from me, Vincent.
Okay.
Under no circumstance did I mention or say any number that was not from the government source book. That is number one. Number two, it is also instructive to note that before the debate that I contributed on the floor of Parliament. I had written a right to information request to the Ministry of Education 3 months before that particular debate that I contributed on. Now, in that 3 months, not even a single response was written to the request that I sent to the Ministry of Education asking for how much the sanitary pad was costing. Not even in a response. Now, Moro, the question that I want to ask is, if the Ministry of Education thinks that the figures that they themselves have put in the budget statement is wrong, can a convention produce the document if, by way of an RTI, I am refused to be given the figure that they are saying that they bought the sanitary pads for? So, in the budget statement, it is clear to state that a cost of a sanitary pad was costing more than 40 Ghana cedis. Now they are saying that it is even 25 Ghana cedis. Go and check the Ministry of Finance social media wall when they claim that for now or currently a sanitary pad is 15 Ghana cedis. This is also not from me, a convention. This is from Atoforsen. When he states that sanitary pad is costing 15 Ghana cedis, just a month or two later, he comes to Parliament, and now in the budgetary statement, they are now telling us that a sanitary pad is costing 42 Ghana cedis or 45 Ghana cedis, assuming without admitting that their own figure that they are now telling us, that is Clement Apak is saying that it is now 25 cedis or 24 cedis. Why was the finance minister telling the people of Ghana that the sanitary pad is now 15 Ghana cedis and you go and buy it in bulk purchase? Okay? Over 12 million parts, you go and buy it for 25 Ghana cedis, and you are telling us that it is not questionable? Number 3, the local manufacturers in this country came to me, produced evidence, produced documents when they tendered for this contract. And in fact, this document I made available when I was having my press conference on the floor of Parliament, that these are the documents, these are the tender documents, these are people who even tendered for as low as 20 Ghana cedis. And I have the tender documents with me here. When I'm done, I'll share them with you. The local manufacturers here in Tema tendered for this contract for 20 Ghana cedis, and they did not win. They did not get the contract. That is the source of worry. So if anybody tells you that the allegations that I am making, which allegation is based on the documents that was given to us by government itself, the onus now lies on government, Dr. Apak and the Ministry of Education to now produce a counter evidence to show that indeed what they themselves put in the budget is not true. It does not lie on Sly. It does not lie on me to produce that document, especially when they have refused the RTI. The only source document that we can rely on is the budget statement, which is an official document that has been presented to the people of Ghana through the people's representatives.
Right.
So if anybody sits on your TV and tells you it is lie, or it is a lie, or they are lies, please ignore, because they cannot even provide you with their own document, which, as it were, is at variance with the documents that they themselves presented on the floor of Parliament. If you don't have anything to hide, why don't you let us know how much a sanitary pad is costing based on the one who or those who won these contracts, and let us know that indeed it is not the 42 Ghana cedis or the 45 Ghana cedis that you yourself have put in your budgetary statement.
If I understand you, what you're saying is that government had projected in its budget, which is planned to buy these sanitary pads at 40 cedis. That's the point you're making.
No, they have not planned. They have not only planned. You see, in the 2026 budget, they were also accounting to the people by way of their performance with the 2025 year.
Right.
You understand? So in the 2025, by way of their accounting to the people, they mentioned that based on the total number of sanitary pads that they have bought, and how much was allocated and how much they have spent. And these are their own words, not me.
Right.
In that document, in that 2026 budget statement, they are saying that they bought the part for 42 or 45 Ghana cedis. That is not me.
Right. Right. Now,
that is the Ministry of Education and the government and Atofos intended that.
That's fine. But at the time the sanitary pads were bought for 42 cedis, did you bother to find out how much sanitary pads were being sold at the time?
I had done my own check, but even forget about what I did.
Okay.
Because they will say that I'm lying. That is why I'm referring you back to the social media walls of the Ministry of Finance.
Okay.
Atoforsen came to Parliament to come and tell the people of Ghana that today, because of the better management of the economy, sanitary pad is now 15 Ghana cedis. That is not me.
Yes, but I'm saying that I'm talking about the time differences. So at the time that the finance minister,
in fact, at the time the inflation had even reduced. At the time they were even saying that it should even be less than the 15 Ghana cedis. So I am even granting them a better price. Let us use the price that they themselves had put on their social media wall.
Okay.
Let us use the price that Atoforsen came to Parliament to tell themselves that because of better economic management, sanitary pad is now 15 Ghana cedis. And I am suggesting, I'm submitting to you that if you tell the people of Ghana that sanitary pad is 15 Ghana cedis, how then do you now come back to us a month later to tell us that when you were purchasing in bulk, when you know that economies of scale will even affect the price, when you know that economies of scale will let the prices be even lower than you going to a shop to go and buy one.
All right.
And I made this calculation that, in fact, if you speak to these local manufacturers and even outside, the sanitary pad, which is of low quality, because go and check what they gave to the students, it is of low quality.
Okay.
That you can even buy for like 7 or 8 Ghana.
That's fine. Let's get some explanation from your very good friend, Dr. Clement Apak. Anyway, Vincent, thank you. You've raised legitimate questions. I'm sure that it's only fair that we ask Dr. Clement Apak to explain to us what accounts for the discrepancy. So 15, the finance minister says sanitary pads have been sold for 15 cedis, and yet in the same budget, they bought sanitary pads for 42 cedis. So what accounts for the difference? Anyway, so Doc, are you with us? Are you with us? Sorry. Okay, Doc, good morning.
Yeah, Moro, good morning to you and to your panelists, especially my good sister Shamima. Ansmawa. I just like to.
I've sent you a text. When you finish, respond.
Very well. If you want the money to speak, that's
long time. I hope you're well, sir.
Yes, my voice has been restored, so expect to see me after my father's burial on the 31st.
You should. You haven't been on the show in a long while. Good morning.
Good morning. I was plagued with a debilitating voice condition that impeded my speech.
Okay.
But thankfully, it has been restored. So you will see a lot more of me.
Get well soon, Chief. Get well soon. And also our condolences
Thank you.
To you. Yes. Yeah, so Vincent says he doesn't understand why in one breath you stated in the budget that you bought sanitary pads for 42 cedis. Then in another breath, the finance minister who read the budget says sanitary pads are supposed to cost him 15 cedis. So what accounts for the discrepancy? He suspects some act of corruption. How do you explain this?
The MPP, since going into opposition, has struggled to try and find what looks like a scandal in an attempt to impugn the good governance that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the NDC have restored. This was one of such attempts, and it has failed miserably. I am the Deputy Minister for Education. I speak on authority because I have been part of the procurement processes. Given that I chair the ETC, which is the Entity Tender Committee, I state on authority that at no time did the ministry procure sanitary pads at 44 or 45 Ghana cedis. It never happened. In the 2025 budget, we had allocated 292 million Ghana cedis to procure some 12,208,340 packs of sanitary pads. Remember that the processes didn't start as soon as His Excellency was sworn into office. Also remember the time the budget itself was passed. So when we started the process after the launch of the policy, the first batch that we put in place processes to procure were 6,607,095 packs. Now it is this that was captured in the budget. And because the budget had also stated the total amount allocated, Vincent Assefuah and his colleagues did what the Minister for Education, Haruna Idrisu, described as shop bar arithmetic. They simply just took the 292 million Ghana cedis and divided that by 6,607,095 packs, and they got the resultant erroneous figure. So, point to be made is this: the second batch was being procured when the budget was prepared. So logically, that could not have been included in the budget because it wasn't completed. But as I speak to you, the full total of 12,208,340 sanitary pads have been procured and distributed. Now, in the procurement processes, we were given specific instructions to procure from local manufacturers. That was strictly adhered to. They claim that the sanitary pads were procured at 45 Ghana cedis has been debunked. If you look at the total number and divide that by the 292 million Ghana cedis. But to add to this, we made it part of the process that those who were going to win the bids competitively, as it was, to procure and supply these parts, were going to supply the parts inclusive of the cost of transportation. So there was no different allocation for transport outside of what we had calculated as the unit price. Moro, you and I know that Ghana is a vast country. So you have where I come from, the Upper East region, where I'll be going later today to prepare to receive people like you to help me mourn my late pastor, Pastor Father John Azundem Apak. And we have Upper West region, where Shamima comes from. We have Northeast, where Dr. Baumia comes from. So the arrangement was that those who had won bids to supply to these distant locations far away from the manufacturers, who were largely here in the national capital, they were given a unique pack price, and a pack has 12 pieces of 24 Ghana cedis. That is the high end, and that includes the cost of transportation. Okay. Now, those who were to supply schools in Greater Accra, Eastern, and even Ashanti, they were given a unit pack price of between 18 and 20 Ghana cedis. So Accra, for example, those who won the bids to supply in Greater Accra, their unit price per pack was 18 Ghana cedis. And then Central, Western North, and the others was 20 Ghana cedis. So there was no way, it has never happened, it will never happen. And look, the minister had authorized the bureaucrats in the ministry to furnish anyone who had put in a request through the RTI for documentation regarding the processes to do with the procurement and supply of sanitary pads. The multimedia group of companies also put in a request. And I know that that has been duly honored.
Okay.
So if Vincent says that he put in a request and has not been honored, I don't know who he wrote his letter to. He may have to send it to me, and I'll make sure that this information that I am providing is made available to him. Nothing fishy happened. Nothing crooked happened. Everything was done above board. We would maintain integrity. We would do due diligence, and we would maintain an open and an accountable governance system as promised by His Excellency.
Okay.
And these are the facts of the matter.
All right.
The minister had cause to challenge Vincent on the floor of Parliament on the very same day that he made this outrageous claim. That was when minister referred to his arithmetic as chop bar arithmetic. They continue to push this false narrative. The minister calls me to address the media in Parliament. On the floor of the same Parliament, their deputy majority leader also sought to repeat the same lie. Fortunately, I was there and I confronted her with the facts. So this issue is settled. Nobody procured and supplied sanitary pads at 40 Ghana cedis, 45 Ghana cedis. The high end, based on distance, was 24 Ghana cedis, and those that were closer to the sources was 18 Ghana cedis. These are the facts.
I need clarity. Were all these sanitary pads procured locally or they were imported?
We were given instructions to procure them locally, and that is what we did.
Okay.
If Vincent had a contractual agreement with some other producers locally who did not get the opportunity, perhaps because their bids were not competitive or they had no records, he should say it and stop making excuses.
All right. And Doc, you have all the necessary documentations to back everything you've told us this morning, because I'll be coming to you.
You can be assured of that.
All right.
I speak as a vandal. Our motto is truth stands.
Okay. Doc, now
and so is the minister, and so is the president.
Okay. Doc, now go to Kware.
Abuchi.
Okay, Shidi, have a good day. Have a good day, sir. Thank you. That's the doctor. I think it's self-explanatory. And unfortunately, our time is also up.
Well, I thought you said we had up to 10.
Yes. No, my producer tells me we actually have just 2 minutes to go.
Oh, you brought this thing. Your people have said it.
Now, Mystic Wonder says that, good morning to you, Moro. Nana Addo Bawumia-led MPP government has mismanaged the economy miserably, failed Ghanaians catastrophically, and yet they have the temerity and testicular muscles, to complain about bad economy. For how long will the Apejo-Makin-led micro-minority continue to disturb Ghanaians with these needless and fruitless press conferences? Enough of the hypocrisy. Ghana will work again under the able leadership of the tried and tested President John Dramani Mahama. And it says, with regards to Dr. Mark Oliver Kevo. That's from Mystic Wonder Advocate. So, amenities.
Yes, I mean,
amenities.
He wants to take because you raised the issue, they brought him first.
Oh, so let me
wrap up with my...
I'm not talking about this. I mean, it's still not. There are a few questions to be answered. But let me say this to MPP and its delegates. We are going to the polls on Saturday. I want to plead with all the party sympathizers, supporters, delegates alike. Let me take this opportunity to congratulate all the 5 gallant aspirants. They've done a very good job by traversing this country, campaigning. Saturday is the D-Day. We all know we are going to elect one person. There's only one person that will emerge victorious. Wherever the chip falls, it's the same MPP. We should be guided that we need everybody post 31st January 2026. And to our supporters, for those who are going to emerge victorious, whoever is going to emerge victorious, their supporters must be magnanimous in their celebrations. And let us also, those of us who will be losing, should also accept defeat in good faith. At the end of the day, it is the same MPP. So the victory is not for any individual, but rather for the MPP.
Okay.
I urge all of us to be mindful of what we say, what we do from today, even on to Saturday, and even beyond. The MPP is the only party that has a track record of helping to develop this country.
Okay.
The records shows Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's government from 2017 up until 2022, we know the records were better
than what we've witnessed today. Okay. And Nana Addo's public rating in 2017, at the end of 2017, was about 82%, better than John Mahama's public rating today. So obviously, we all know why, and John Mahama himself has attested to the reason why the gains we've made have been eroded. And on the basis of that, the plans and programs we put in place around the IMF to help us through the process of recovery, they have extended that particular program.
Thank you.
We believe that is in the interest of this country.
Thank you.
But MPP's record will always stand superior to that of the NDC.
I just wanted to quickly say that once again, the NPP did not lose power because of propaganda. They lost power because of their consistent patterns. The patterns of the actions that they took, the corruption that bedeviled it. Today, after throwing $50 million in the biggest hole, the Cathedral project.
Check your current report on that hole. Check your current report.
Today, after doing that,
check your report.
They are
after investigating
with a matter
calling people
involving the production of sanitary parts.
Check your own report.
You see, sanitary parts that in the past when we tried to do it, they threw in all sorts of propaganda. There's a problem with the NPP and their priorities. Today they want to make procuring sanitary parts for our young girls so they can attend school and feel dignified and comfortable. They want to raise lies against that project. It has fallen on its all fours. But let me just conclude by saying that this is what should have engaged their attention. The fact that they are heading towards a very watershed moment in a few days is what should have, engaged their attention. Not the baseless comments that they have made, the baseless accusations they made by their own minority. There is a problem. Ghanaians definitely remember the difference, more do. They remember those that took them to hell. And they remember the government that has come back with 58 ministers.
Okay.
The decisive President John Dramani Mahama, who has come back strictly with discipline, 58 ministers more
with regional
to lead this country. And the real difference is clear.
Presidential staff is deputy minister.
NDC,
put the numbers
we
together.
Govern with empathy.
I was a deputy minister. You are a deputy
we govern with inclusiveness.
You are a deputy minister today.
We are committed to shared prosperity. He's heckling.
Close. I mean,
we've not close. The NPP governs and now opposes through slogans, through blame shifting, never accepting and conceding to their wrong. And if they persist to continue with the destructive patterns that took them to Sahindran, they will remain, as I keep saying, at the Mole National Park for a very long time. And to my patrons,
thank you very much. Our time is up.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ampedu.
Good afternoon, Mr. Asari.
How is business doing?
My business is collapsing.
Why is your business collapsing?
I sold my products and services to my clients on credit, and my debtors are not paying their debts.
Have you